MFC, baby!
Mellow fucking corn, mate.
Mellow fucking corn, innit? Cheez-Its, but British. They're called Cheez-Its.
I'm trying to remember an Irish accent and I can't do it at this point.
Top of the morning to you, laddies. My name is Jacksepticeye, and I'm getting sued for using his likeness in this video. Sponge Boy Bob, I'm wanted for copyright fraud in 14 states. Alright. So this is a revisit since our only video of this was at a restaurant and was a pretty shit quality video in terms of audio.
Yes.
And the fact that there was no video was just a picture of Mellow corn because we didn't record video in the restaurant.
Right.
So, Mellow fucking corn. If you can get this in PA, it's $13 a fifth. I've seen it for about 21-ish in West Virginia, which given how I like it and how Ryan likes it, I would pay that price.
Oh, for sure.
But let's revisit it. So,
incredibly light nose. Mm-hmm. Vanilla, cornbread, ethanol. I get nothing else.
Yep. And
it's very faint.
It really is.
Which, that was the case whenever we went to that restaurant. It was really faint then,
We didn't have much of a nose at all, yeah. We didn't expect one either, because it's a cheap 100-proofer.
Yeah, we kind of gave it the benefit of the doubt, because we were at a restaurant, and, like, you know, it may have been hard to smell anything, but, like, right now in this environment, you still can't smell anything.
But also, keep in mind the price. So,
yes.
that is one thing to keep in mind. Like, you're not... This is meant to be an easy sipper. This isn't meant to be super complex.
Correct.
You're not going to sell a complex whiskey for $13.
No, this is meant to be mixed. Sweet, hot, ethanol.
I don't get much heat. I get a little bit of warmth on the back end, but I don't get much heat anymore.
To me, it's not like heat. It's like a spice heat. Like there's like a spice kick.
That.
But like it's not like, you know, pepper or baking spice kick. It's like ethanol.
I still get
kick.
so much cornbread.
Cornbread and vanilla. Still all you get.
And I have no complaints about that. I really like it.
I have like that weird canned corn sweetness as well, but like
almost like the juices from a can of canned sweet corn.
Yep. Yeah, no, ain't bad. For $13.
I mean, $13, you cannot beat this. At all, to be honest with you.
Maybe Old Tub. Maybe.
Well, yeah, but even then, in PA, we're lucky because in other states, it's gone up to where it's 20 or more.
This is true.
So, keeping that in mind, like, if Old Tub is the only potential competition, and that's only in PA because we're talking a price difference of like $4.
Yeah.
That says a lot about how this is.
Yes. Because other than that, what else this
I mean, this beats out some higher end whiskeys we've had, still.
A lot of it beats out almost every craft we've had, except for like New Riff and Rabbit Hole.
And ones that source, but if you source, you know what you're doing to some degree.
Yeah. Oh, and I take that back too. Balcones and Garrison Brothers are also still.
And I wouldn't call this better than McLaughlin or Liberty Pole either, because those ones are also like, those are like the cream of the crop PA.
They're solid, but they're also incredibly expensive.
McLaughlin, yes. Liberty Pole has definitely gone down in price, and I think it's justifiable.
How much?
The most expensive is $50 now.
How much is the Peter Bourbon? Is $50
Peter
now?
is $50. The regular one's like $44.
I might consider that now because whenever I looked at it before,
it was like $57. In PA last, it was the previous price was $57.
I thought it was up to 60. Well, it might have been 65 the last time I looked at it, but
yeah, it was 57. And supposedly their high rise absolutely phenomenal, and that's from a lot of like the thing is too, when you see people in these bourbon groups, the Pittsburgh ones, actually ranting and raving about it, that does say something, because you're still talking people who are like-minded like we are, and they still like it. And Kinsey, but Kinsey's sourced. So.
Yeah, Kinsey doesn't really count at the moment. Although I've heard good things about Wolfenstolz.
Oh, that's another one I've heard good things.
I haven't tried it, but I've
heard. And I mean, that Hidden Still corn whiskey wasn't terrible either. It wasn't great, but it really wasn't bad.
I think that one was sourced, though. I'm convinced that one was sourced.
Oh, that one was sourced. Yes, you're right. That was a Kentucky 5-year.
Yeah.
In fact, I wonder if it's sourced from Heaven Hill.
I thought it was sourced from Jim Beam, but it could be Heaven Hill.
It doesn't say where it was sourced from. Just Kentucky 5-year corn whiskey.
It's either Heaven Hill or Jim Beam.
I mean, the two that we know that are known for making a corn whiskey would be Heaven Hill and Jim Beam.
Yeah.
Jim Beam doesn't use it as much, but they both make them.
Yeah, and Jim Beam's, that whiskey was very peanut heavy, which makes me think it leaned towards
This
Jim
is
Beam.
true.
But
at the same time, you get peanut notes out of things from Heaven Hill too, so who the fuck knows anymore?
Yeah. Just not as intense,
But even like the Hidden Still David E. that Ryan got, for a bourbon, it wasn't very bourbony, but it was pretty good for a $30 whiskey. It had kind of scotchy funks to it, not even like young. It had scotchy kind of.
Oh yeah.
Like single malt, but that's just because I think it was high barley.
Yeah.
And I've heard their double oak's actually pretty good. I mean, there's the obviously crap ones like the New Liberty, the Bloody Butcher, and the.
I've heard awful things about Bloody Butcher.
It's a 9-month bourbon. Should have been aborted.
Yeah, I mean, with a name like Bloody Butcher, it's already halfway to being aborted. They just didn't pull
I've heard the Bluebird stuff isn't terrible either, but I have no experience with any of them.
I don't have any experience with
They
that.
have a 4-grain, a rye, and a single malt.
Are those the ones in the stubby bottles that look like the Hudson Baby bourbon bottles?
2 of the 3 are, yes.
I know what you're talking about.
The single malt is in a bottle that almost looks like a New Riff bottle in terms of shape, or an H. Taylor bottle.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, back to the Mellow corn just to wrap this up. I mean, it's a $13 corn whiskey.
If you are on a budget and you need something cheap that you can use,
you can use in a cocktail, not feel bad, and you can sip it, and it's like
not terrible.
Yeah, it's obviously not complex at all, but it's not inoffensive in any way either. I don't think, aside from being light. But I wouldn't call that inoffensive. I just call that we prefer more complex.
Yeah, because realistically, this is better than every other bottom shelf option between like McKenna,
Easy. Old
Crow.
This is a bottom shelfer that hits as a mid range.
Yeah,
and sometimes that's all you need from a bottom shelf is you want something you can sip on like your standard offering.
Yeah,
it definitely fits that bill.
This is basically like the valedictorian of special ed, so to speak.
Yes. This one sits in the back of the short bus. Mellow corn, everybody.